This message is more important than ever. It's the story of how a small Jewish group in Slovakia fought back against the Nazi regime, against the hate regime. And today we're seeing this again right now with what's happening in Israel, in Gaza. Unfortunately, there's a lot of miseducation and propaganda being spread right now that says that the Israelis are doing something they shouldn't be doing. And I can tell you, as someone who's lived in Israel, who's half Israeli, who's been there and knows the truth, that the Nazi mentality of trying to annihilate people who are different than them, and the radical Hamas or Islamic mentality, that radicalism, it's the same mentality. And there's no room for this type of hate in the world, okay? We all have the right to practice our religion and freedom of speech, okay, but not hate, not murder, not saying because you're different you don't deserve to exist. It's insane. And the real narrative is that this new radical Hamas mentality, the Iran mentality, and the Nazi Germany mentality, that's the same shit together. And we need to fight back, and we need to show the world that there's no room for this type of radicalism, because we can all live in peace together if we find a way to accept one another. 100%. I have traveled to Poland. I've been to many of the concentration camps, which should really not be called concentration camps. They should be called factories of death. I've been there. I have spoken with countless Holocaust survivors firsthand, and I can tell you that if the world saw what the Nazis did and how they orchestrated with such detail these factories of death amongst Jews, first and foremost, but also amongst others who are different, people who are gay, people who have learning disabilities. They wanted nothing to do with them. They wanted them to be off the face of the earth. If people could see how sick a human being's mind can become because they look at someone who's different, or they are told a story that is so untrue, if they could only see how toxic hate and miseducation can become, they would understand that we need more movies like this. If I could turn time around and ask Holocaust survivors a question, I would ask, what can you teach us about resilience? What can you teach us about being stronger? What can you teach us about what never again really means?